Hello YouTube land. I decided to make a video again. I haven't made one for quite a while. I think that real life can really get in the way of that sort of thing. I just wanted to talk about anime that I'm watching this season because I think there's some like really good ones. I mean, I'm not watching everything. I'm not really watching that much, but the stuff I am watching I do really like. So I figured I'm going to talk about it because I want to. So I'm just going to talk about the ones I'm watching and then like a few that I dropped or just kind of lost interest in, basically. I mean, it's not that deep. So the first one on the list is Digimon Beat Break. I mean, we're about 3 or 4 episodes into all the anime of this season, so I thought it's like a good time to just talk about them. Digimon Beat Break is one that I think a lot of people, they need to watch it. They need to watch it. I think this one, judging by the first 4 episodes, more so than the previous season, would be really good for newcomers to Digimon. And I think the great thing about it is it's come out when the new Digimon game has come out. So anyone who's played that and is like, hey, Digimon, I'm just realizing it's like the coolest thing in the world. Sorry, Lucario. Like, I like Pokemon, but Digimon's just, whew, it's my jam. I love Digimon. And I think there's a lot to like so far. It it needs to balance the episodicness with the main plot. So the issue that the previous Digimon season had, Digimon Ghost Game, was that initially it opened with quite an interesting story. Like oh, this main character needs to find his dad who's trapped in the digital world and all this. And that plot is there for the first episode. It's there for the last. Like, it is not like carried throughout the show at all. And this is like a good episodic show. It can have self-contained episodes, but those episodes need to propel the main story forward just a little bit. And Ghost Game didn't have any of that. So in this one, Digimon Beat Break, it seems like the main goal, basically the main character, it's kind of hard to explain. It's so different from the previous Digimon seasons. So he doesn't have a Digivice as such. He has like everyone has like a little Saputama, which is like a little egg. It's basically an iPhone. It's just like it has everything on it. Use it for everything. And when you're like a baby, you get like a chip implanted in your hand, and it's through this chip that you interface with this device. And the main character, he basically can't. He just glitches everything out, and he lives in like this abandoned like building, and everything around him's very derelict, but then the city, it's like very futuristic and modern. And so it's like he's not participating in this. And the main goal is basically to, spoilers for episode 1, to get his brother's E-Pulse back, which is kind of like his life force, just think of it like that has been stolen by this mysterious Digimon. And yeah, it's just, so far, the animation, the art style, it's just really refreshing. My personal favourite Digimon season is Adventure. And the reason why is, in the name, it's an adventure. I just love that. And I don't think anything will ever beat that. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy this, and I really do. And I think that, if you're skeptical of Digimon, I think it's worth giving this one a go. I think it might surprise you. The designs are great, the music's really interesting. Yeah, great, it's good. So next on my list, what I'm watching is Gnosia. Now, Gnosia is an adaptation of a visual novel, and it's probably the most gameplay-driven visual novel I've played. I don't read that many, but most of the ones I read tend to be kinetic. Like, you just, Higurashi, Umineko, you're just clicking, you're reading. That's about as far as, the interaction goes. But in Gnosia, you are the player character. It's literally you. And you have to participate in a game of werewolf. This classic thing where it's like, okay, one of these people that I'm with is a werewolf, and I have to figure out which one by asking questions and just figuring it out. And it's that, but applied to a spaceship where aliens, some weird force, I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but basically it's that. It's a game of werewolf, but you're in space and there's all these like really quirky characters. I mean, extremely quirky. And so far, we're only 3 episodes into the anime. And the thing about Gnosia is the gameplay loop is great, right? That's the discussions, that's finding out who's the Gnosia, who we're going to put into cold sleep and, you know, hopefully survive. But as you continue on, that's not necessarily the meat of the visual novel. It's more about just finding out as much information as you can about all these characters and just learning about them. And at the moment, the anime is kind of... It's introducing elements from the game that you probably can tell they're quite gamey. And it's still really good. But I hope as it goes on, it kind of... not necessarily skips them, but doesn't spend too much time on these roundtable discussions, because I feel like that's not going to be as much a strength in the anime as it is in the game, because this isn't like Danganronpa where it's like, it's a set, a killer set. You know, it's not like in the Danganronpa class trials when it's like, oh, it's all scripted and you know, everything's been laid out specifically for this murder. In Gnosia, it's randomized. Everything's randomized. And so the real heart of the story hasn't really opened up yet, but it's still really interesting to watch these discussions. So I'm kind of 2 minds about it right now. Like, they need to spend more time on figuring out how to portray all these different roles and that sort of thing in the discussions. But once it's done with that, it can hopefully develop the characters more, because that's what really, really matters for this, especially when you've taken away the element of the gameplay, because you're not playing, so they have to make these roundtable discussions of all the characters figuring out who the Gnosia is. Really, they have to make them good, or else it's going to get boring. So I think it just needs to try balance it out well, which it has been so far. You know, it's balanced things out pretty well. Just need those free time events, need to learn about all the characters. But yeah, I love this series. I love the visual novel and the anime. So far, it is shaping up to be just as good, honestly. The only complaint I have is in the artwork. Now, the artwork is gorgeous, right? But when the characters... like when one of them's revealed to be the Gnosia or the alien or whatever, they kind of have like a creepy face. And in the visual novel, it is genuinely like, Jesus Christ, this is creepy. In the anime, I don't think it translates quite as well to anime. And it's not their fault. I think this is as good as it gets. I just think if you check out the visual novel, it has this certain style to it. And the creepiness comes across better in just this still image, you know? Just my opinion. But yeah, if you're not watching Gnosia, you need to watch it because it's freaking amazing. It's one of my favourites. Next on my list is Hero Academia final season. Okay, so I like My Hero Academia. I really do. But it's not what it used to be for me. And this is maybe controversial, but it kind of peaked in Series 2, in my opinion. I think that was the best one, and ever since then, like all these big battles, all these villains and all that, I haven't been as invested. I'm not enjoying it as much. Now keep in mind, I still enjoy it. Like, I've watched how many seasons? Like 8? So this is like the 8th one. I would have dropped it if I didn't enjoy it, because I really do. It's just like... it's just so many fights. I don't know, it's a battle manga, but if you don't care about the characters who are fighting, then you're left with not much. And I do feel like the core message at the beginning has changed quite a lot, because it's kind of run into kind of the Naruto problem where, I mean, I love Naruto, but, you know, it's like, oh, he's so great, it's all him, but it's a nine-tailed fox, it's not him. Not anybody could be Naruto, it's because of this fox. And I think the same thing kind of happened with Deku. I wish they'd kind of kept him quirkless somehow, because that would have been like a stronger message to, like, I don't know, kids who read this, right? Because it's basically saying you may have nothing, but if you're lucky, you'll get it handed to you. And I think a series about like this superhero society and a main character who has no powers, who is quirkless, as Deku was at the beginning, that seems a lot more intriguing to me than what it became. But having said that, I still do like it, and the final season so far has been like banger after banger with these final episodes. Really, really great stuff. That's just like my little issue. I just like how it started more than how it's kind of gone on. Like, I just think I could imagine the story going in a different direction than it did, and think it would have kind of set itself apart a little bit more from these Shonen Jump stories. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But it's still really great. Next on my list is Sander. Now, Sander is based off a manga by the creator of Beastars, which I'm a really huge fan of. Sander doesn't have anthropomorphic animals. It's set in a world where kind of all these fairy tales like Santa, the Easter Bunny, or anything like that is just like a myth, a legend. Like, no one talks about it. The kids aren't given these dreams, these silly dreams, they're not allowed. And the main character is a descendant of Santa. And if he wears something red, he turns from this like little boy to this big buff grandpa. It's pretty cool. It might be one of the craziest anime I've ever seen. Just for that, it's worth watching. Just for the fact that this is the plot. Like, what? Santa Claus? I think that it's really worth watching. It's definitely got that Beastars humour to it. I can really see that. Kind of interesting to see the art style in 2D as opposed to, the 3D that Beastars used. I don't know where the story will go, to be honest. I feel like the sky is the limit, and the author could just do what she wants with this because it's insane. But I really like the main character and this female character. I think they're really great together. Okay, I'm also watching Spy X Family Season 3. Not a lot to say. I mean, everyone enjoys Spy X Family, I'm sure. It's fine. It's a very enjoyable watch weekly. I'm not like a super huge fan, but I do enjoy it. I think the past episode was kind of boring, episode 2. But when it focuses on Anya and Lloyd, those two characters are really the best in my opinion, as well as fuzzy hair guy. I think that I like Yor, the mum character, but she does feel a little out of place. I don't know why she's still an assassin, because she doesn't need to be anymore, so that's kind of weird. But apart from that, it's really nice. A really nice series, really funny. And not much else to say. Everyone loves Spy X Family. To Your Eternity Season 3. Wow. I'm amazed that this show has got 3 seasons, and this might be the last one. I'm not sure. I know that the manga's finished, but who can say if this is going to cover everything? To Your Eternity, it's a weird one, right? I think that at its core, its heart is really good, and it's just hard not to like the main character, especially. It's just really likable. I do think it's a bit weird, not in I don't really know how to describe its weirdness. It just, something about it doesn't seem right, just like the structure, I guess. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's some of these situations, I just feel like they could have been maybe written better. I don't know. I think season 1's the best so far. I think season 2 and 3 have not reached the heights that season 1 did, just based on its first episode alone. I mean, that episode is just amazing. But it's still a really great series, despite my complaints, and there's just so many characters now and you kind of forget who they are, and but there's going to be 22 episodes, so I'm excited to watch the rest of it, because it is good. It's just weird. So that's all that I'm really actively watching this season. So I'm just going to talk about a few things that I ended up dropping, or just had an interest in but couldn't bring myself to watch. We'll talk about that. So the first one that I've dropped, sadly, very sadly, is Touring After the Apocalypse. So I love the artwork in this show. The backgrounds are gorgeous. That's what I want to live in, that world, I mean, I'd last 2 minutes, but I want to live in that world anyway. I love the mixture of, modern civilization with the overgrown trees and greenery everywhere. It's my jam. I love it. But, big but. The main character is kind of annoying, really annoying, and I feel really bad. I like the white-haired girl. She's really cute and just, I mean, you can't hate that kind of character. But like the main protagonist, she's kind of dumb, kind of loud, kind of annoying, and she's kind of ruining the vibe for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater, but yeah, that's the thing that's kind of killing it for me. And I'm not really that interested in the main story. I feel like it could be better, definitely. I think that just her attitude kind of makes me not want to watch it. Maybe I'm just miserable, but regardless of that, I do like the backgrounds. I like what they're doing with like the happy tone contrasting this apocalyptic setting. I mean, it's been done before, and you know, it is what it is, but not quite hitting the mark, this one, for me. So I did drop it after 2 episodes. I know what it's going for. It's trying to be sad, trying to be happy and cute girls at the same time, but yeah, I don't like the main character, so it's a drop for me. Monster Wants to Eat Me. This is a Yuri romance anime. I didn't even hate the first episode or anything. It was okay. It's just kind of gloomy, and that's the point, right? I mean, the main character's pretty suicidal, and she just wants to be eaten by this mermaid, who, I think she was a mermaid anyway, and she like wants to wait until she's ultra delicious, so she's not eating her just yet. I just found the characters to be a bit bland. It's just a bit bland for me. There's definitely a lot of appeal to it, though. I think that if you're into romance, Yuri romance, there's a lot to like, but it didn't really hook me. Didn't hook me. Just a bit dull in execution. So the last one that I didn't even try to watch, or I kind of did. So I skimmed through the manga for this one ages ago, and I watched the first episode and skimmed through the second as well. It's called With You, Our Love Will Make It Through. And the reason I'm not too into this one is, so this is a shoujo romance, and interestingly enough, it's between an anthropomorphic dog boy and normal human girl, which is like, whatever, that's fine, that's interesting. But my problem with it is it's too sexual so fast. It just happened too fast. I think that it would have been better if like we had more build up to that. And I'm not necessarily saying like make it like every other shoujo, well, not every other one, but you know, like, oh, they'll hold hands and kiss in the last episode. I'm not saying I want it to do that, but the fact in episode like 2, it's already crossing the line too far, in my opinion. I don't mean that in a way like, oh, I'm a prude. I actually do kind of respect that it's going so far so soon, but it kind of makes the romance not feel as good to me. And I know it's more realistic, to be honest, because it's like that's what teenagers would do, right? They just want to immediately. But as a romance to watch, I'm not really that invested in this one. I like that the main girl's a freak and she's just into this dog boy. But this is going to sound bad. It's going to sound really bad. I don't like the way Dog Boy's drawn. The way Dog Boy's drawn is terrible. I think it's hideous. Hate that design. I've been spoiled by Legoshi from Beastars. Yeah, just if his design was different, I probably would watch it. I just don't like his design either, so it kind of falls apart, you know. I'm not into the main love interest. I appreciate a lot about it. I love that it is actually going to places so fast because it's respectable, right? This sort of thing doesn't normally do that. But am I interested in seeing these two and their relationship? No. It's just a bit too based on physical attraction, which again, kind of like real life, but I don't know. I'm just not vibing with it, that's all. It's not really that deep. So that's everything that I'm watching this season, plus a few things that I dropped at the end there. If you couldn't tell, I'm highly, highly recommending Digimon Beat Break. You need to watch Digimon. If you've never watched any, you need to watch them. You need to get in on that. It's all great. Well, it's not all great, but this seems to be shaping up to be a good one. But if you're maybe not into it, but still interested in Digimon, first season, you can't go wrong with it. Watch it in Japanese with English subtitles, and you will probably be impressed because it's not what a lot of people expect, I feel like. You know, people who haven't gotten into it. Aside from that, Gnosia, I love Gnosia. I know I was kind of being a bit nitpicky with it, but it's more curiosity of how they're going to adapt such an interactive visual novel. But so far, it is really, really great, and they just need to take time to develop the characters properly so that we can come to love them as much as we do in the visual novel. Yeah, I think that just about covers everything, really. Really enjoyable season. Everything I'm watching ends up being out towards the weekend, so it's like a big drop of everything at once. And it's good. It's a really good season, and I'm enjoying it greatly. Gnosia, Digimon Beat Break. Watch those. Bye.